Hi there. Today I'm going to give you a tour of the fermented foods in my fridge. Maybe it will give you some inspiration. It's currently spring and the fermented foods in my fridge will vary with each season. So let's just call this a spring tour. I'm going to take you through everything that you see here. I'm currently working on this jar of my signature sauerkraut with carrot, ginger, and fennel seeds. I grow both yellow and orange carrots. This one has yellow carrots, so you can't see them too well. And then I've got this one back here with orange carrot. There's actually no taste difference between the two, it's just aesthetics. If you're getting started with fermented foods or have digestive issues, I recommend starting here with classic sauerkraut, aka fermented cabbage. It has the best wild probiotic profile, is beginner friendly to make, and can be stored for a very long time in the fridge, up to 2 years unopened. Now in the late summer when I harvest my cabbage, I make batches and batches of this sauerkraut. After the fermentation period on the countertop, I then transfer it to the fridge for eating and long-term storage. This one here has not been opened since it was made about 8 months ago. And this is the last jar, so it's taken me this long to work my way through numerous jars throughout the fall and the winter. That's how our ancestors did it. Harvest the food in the fall, ferment it, and then eat it during the non-growing seasons. Except they use root cellars or a ceramic pot buried in the ground. I use the modern technology of a refrigerator since I don't have a root cellar. These are fermented lentils mixed with vegetables, very, very tasty. And these next two jars are fermented beans, also mixed with vegetables, delicious. Now we've got some homemade pickles, and way back here are fermented beets. So far I've made recipe videos for everything I've shown you, but not for these, at least not yet anyway. I made these about 8 or 9 months ago from last summer's garden, and I've had so many other fermented foods to eat that I just haven't gotten to these yet. This is fermented salsa. I love this salsa, but it is a short-term ferment, not a long-term one. It has only a 24-hour fermentation period on the counter before it's transferred to the fridge, and from there will last up to 2 weeks. If you're wondering why some ferments are long and others are short, I did a quick video to answer that question, and you can find it in my fermentation education playlist. So I'm just not going to go into that further here. Let's go down to the next shelf where I've got my white kimchi. This is a favorite of mine to make over the winter months. And if you make enough of it, like large batches, you'll have enough to extend over into the following seasons like I do here. Just at FYI, I do a lot of batch fermenting. When I do a large batch ferment, like with my sauerkrauts or this kimchi, it will last for months and months. Then I don't have to worry about making frequent batches every week or every other week. Behind that jar of kimchi is broth kimchi, just the juice or the brine. I give it a shake before use, and I finished all the vegetables in it and saved this leftover brine because, my friends, this is gold. Never throw away the leftover brine because that's where most of the probiotics live. Not to mention its outrageous and delicious flavor. So if you're not interested in the probiotic element, you can just add it to hot soups as flavoring. Or if you do want to maintain the probiotic element, use as a flavoring over cooked rice, baked potatoes, and so on. This is a fermentation container. I first got this when I was making kimchi and fell in love with it. I love it because it has a built-in suppression system that acts as the fermentation weight, holding the food beneath the brine, which is imperative to prevent spoilage. And bonus, it works great for large batches of sauerkraut, fermented pickles, and other fermentations. And if you're not fermenting anything, you can use it for regular food storage. It's really a quite versatile container. Next shelf down, we've got some sourdough bread. I typically do leave it out on the counter, but we went away for a long weekend, so I put it in the fridge. Back here, I've got more fermented beans. When I did my fermented beans video, I made so many batches of fermented beans. So those are in line to be opened once I finish off the beans from the top shelf. These are my sourdough starters. Oh, and these are fermented carrots. They are a new addition to the fridge within the last few days. My video for these is coming out on May 20th. Let me tell you, the taste is so amazing that you didn't even know carrots could taste so good. You'll find the link in the description, as well as links for all the other fermented foods you've seen today, except for the beets, for now. Come summer, I'm going to have a lot of fermented zucchini in the fridge and loads of fermented pickles when the cukes start coming in. So it's an ever-changing cycle. Sometimes people ask me how to eat fermented foods. I speak for myself, but I actually don't lop a heap on my plate and eat it as a side dish. That would just be too much, too strong. Instead, I add them to my meals as a complement. For example, white kimchi over rice or fish is fantastic. Fermented salsa over pasta is divine. Fermented zucchini relish over a salad gives terrific flavor. Kraut added to a sandwich is superb. And fermented beans in a burrito takes the burrito to the next level. I just get creative. Don't have any fear experimenting with your food. That's how you find out what you like, what you don't like. That's what I do. As I mentioned earlier, my next video is fermented carrots, and oh my friends, you do not know how good fermentation pairs with carrots. Those two go together so well that you're going to have a really hard time not eating an entire jar in one sitting. The link will be found in the description below. And for all my fermenting recipes, click into this playlist right here, and this playlist for fermenting education. The recipes are yummy, so definitely check them out, but it's the fermenting education videos that improve your understanding of the fermentation process. Knowledge will make you a better and more confident fermenter. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.